The crackdown on opponents of the Bahraini government continues in the Persian Gulf Kingdom. A court in Bahrain has revoked the citizenship of 2 more dissidents for anti-regime political activities. One of 2 citizens was also sentenced to life imprisonment. The other one got a 15-year jail term. This is the second time in a week Bahrain issues strict verdicts against political activists. The crackdown has intensified at a time when Bahrain has barred a European parliamentary delegation from visiting the country. Pier Antonio Panzeri, the chairman of the European Parliament Human Rights Delegation, has said, "I regret to inform you that the Kingdom of Bahrain has refused to allow a delegation from the European Parliament to visit Manama for technical reasons, which we did not expect." The first question crossing one's mind is that what is Bahrain trying to hide? The uprising in Bahrain began in mid-February 2011. Since then, many people have been killed while thousands have been jailed. Many others have had their citizenship revoked on suspicion of having participated in anti-establishment political activities. In the early days of the uprising, when protests escalated across the kingdom, Saudi Arabia intervened to prop up the Bahraini government. Ever since, protests have shown no signs of ending, nor has the government been able to silence dissidents through strong armed tactics, which it implements with impunity. As far as the US is concerned, it's business as usual in Bahrain. Washington is going to sell more arms to Manama, regardless of the human rights situation in the kingdom. The US State Department has approved Bahrain's request to buy attack helicopters and related hardware.
Yeah, this is the hypocrisy that the Bahraini people have to deal with. On the one hand, you have the State Department saying there are human rights violations. On the other hand, arms sales seem to go ahead with without asking any serious questions. These helicopters, make no mistake about it, will be used against civilians. Otherwise, why would a country like Bahrain need that many helicopters in a small island?
Manama also enjoys cordial relations with Britain. London has turned a blind eye to the demands of Bahrainis who wanted to not condone oppression through cozying up with rulers of the kingdom. Apart from the US and Britain, the rest of the international community stands accused of shirking its responsibility regarding the human rights situation in Bahrain, as they are largely silent on the repression in Bahrain.
We have seen the Bahraini regime engage in using forbidden weapons against the Bahraini people. So the hypocrisy by the State Department is really alarming at a time when these regimes are spending hundreds of millions and in some cases billions of dollars on American weapons, when their own people in Bahrain are suffering economically and they can't find work and they can't find employment. This is really this is a colonial relationship between Western powers and Bahrain at the expense of the Bahraini people.
In its latest report early in 2018, prominent advocacy group Human Rights Watch said human rights in Bahrain have deteriorated significantly in the past year because international pressure on the Gulf Arab Kingdom has weakened. Bahrain can aptly be called a textbook example of Western double standards regarding the issue of democracy. When human rights are purportedly violated in countries blacklisted by the West, Western officials cry foul. But allies are exempt from this rule.